It is officially swamp soup season. Today we are meal prepping Wishbone Kitchen's green garlic soup, aka swamp soup. I started my rice and then got all of my fresh ingredients and produce out of the fridge. Next step was to measure out 4 cups of chicken broth or bone broth. All I had was regular broth though, and then get that into a pot on the stove and start boiling it. Now it's officially time to start prepping. I opened up my baby spinach and portioned out 4 packed full cups of that. And then once that was done, I started my most tedious task, which was cutting up the ginger and peeling all of the skin off. Then you just throw the spinach into the chicken broth and you just kind of let it wilt down and get smaller in size. Once that's done, I transferred all of it into my blender and then set it aside to cool so I didn't explode my kitchen. I will say I did go a little heavy on the garlic. I put in, I think, maybe 6 or 7 cloves. Then I chopped up my ginger into smaller pieces so it was easier to blend and threw that into the blender also. Next up was just chopping up the green onions so that they fit in a little better, and I literally stuffed them in there. Then I got started on my jalapenos because you have to de-seed them and then cut them up so that they fit in there, and I was really close to getting some of this in my eyeball. Those went in, and then I ripped off a bunch of parsley and just kind of shoved it into this measuring cup. It was not really exactly right, and then shoved it into the blender also. Then I just added a little bit of water to hopefully help this blend better, and some salt. I let that cool for a little bit longer because my rice was done, so I transferred that into the pot and then started blending the mixture. Then I dumped this swampy goodness into the chicken broth and let that heat up and come to a little bit of a simmer. Are you starting to kind of understand the name? Next up, I just shredded this cooked chicken that I had. I literally just boil it because it soaks up all of the seasoning from the soup, and I gave up on the fork and I just started shredding it with my hands. Then I chopped it all up into tiny pieces so I don't get the chicken ick, and then I poured it into the soup and started heating everything back up again. I seasoned with a little bit more salt and pepper, and then in the recipe she says to season with soy sauce to taste, so I put some in and then let it simmer for a little bit before serving myself up a bowl. Okay, I will say that this was so hot it literally burned my mouth off, but it was so delicious. I haven't made this in so long, and it always cures any illness that I have. Anyways, that's it. Shout out to Wishbone Kitchen for the recipe, and I hope you guys loved it. Bye!